Wow, Ga. This is part 2 of readings from 26th of March 2024, sorry. Because I accidentally cut us off when I went to show you that last photograph or that last meme or whatever it was. Anyway, we were already about 2.5 hours in. It was already a long video. So it's good that maybe it's been broken up into 2 parts because I've still got a lot to read through and we're not done yet. And this way you can choose how much of my psychobabble you want to immerse yourself in, people of Earth. So I'm going to continue with my reading because I'm halfway through a job and I have to reach completion, and as my psychiatrist said, I'm obsessional now since my last near-death experience in 2019. So while I'm on the go and I'm on the jobby, I'll just keep going, keep moving forward, keep striving for accomplishment and success and fruition. Poor Mama T. I took the break in between having to restart my computer because for some reason it keeps throwing me off the internet as well to make some cheese on toast, which won't agree with me because I'm lactose intolerant. So a bit of a self-harming behaviour there, but I'm hungry and it was quick food. And I made a cup of tea, which is also not good for my bladder, but it's only my second cup of tea today. And I need a bit of whatever caffeine's in the tea. I need a bit of a hit because I am actually quite tired. So anyway, I'm back. Part 2. It's currently 2:24 p.m. on the 26th of March 2024, and it's still raining. And here we go, soldiering on as we do, by the gods. Mama T is a determined little squirrel these days. Very self-determined. So I'm not sure why. It must have brushed against the power switch, and that's what stopped the video from recording. I'm really annoyed about that. Sorry, but it's actually good in a way, as I said. Breaks up the ravings and the rantings and the philosophisings and the musings, and right off my head at the moment. But not in a bad way, just really expansive right now. I'm open wide like a hollow bone, ready to receive all the blessings from the multiverses. And I'm happy, by the way, people. I am quite contented. So I continue on 26th of March 2019, watching miracles on Stan, funny and poignant. What if God was one of us? My friend Julie Goddard, who used to indulge me in my quirky ways, wrote back, what if God smoked cannabis? Which meant she was probably imbibing at that moment in time. And I wrote back, me, Julie Goddard, he was smoking some weird shit when he made flies, mosquitoes, lice, fleas and cane toads. And she wrote back, Tanya Aaron's laughing face. She knew I'd respond that way. She knew me well. Yeah, happy days. 26th of March 2019. I posted an article by traveller.com.au. Simply disrespectful. Auschwitz visitors use railway tracks as balance beam. Oh, they really are disgusting, these tourists that go there and dishonour our dead. It's absolutely vile, beyond belief. So I commented, what is happening to the souls of this generation? No empathy, no respect, no integrity, mind-blowing and devastating. Oh well. some of those NPCs will have taken themselves out with all the boosters they've been having in recent years, so the gods will clean house. I have every faith in that. Awful though it may be, I have every faith that all those rotten kind of people that sat there and take delight in other people's actual death and destruction, as you sow, so shall you reap. 11:56 p.m. I had a lovely afternoon and evening. Jared and later Crystal came to visit me. I was going to have a bite of food. Starving Mama T. I did it in the microwave and some of the toasters were soggy and horrible. Don't even know if it's worth the effort. It's not nice, people, but I've made it now, so I'll read it. I'm not one to waste food. Intergenerational trauma from both my mother and my stepfather surviving World War II in Germany. Well, he was in Germany too, in Nordhausen, but I hear someone calling out. Must be someone calling their pet. We went shopping at Kmart as Crystal wanted to buy me an electric kettle as she found me boiling water on the stove. She found my boiling water on the stove too slow and annoying. That's how it was done in the old days. Jesus. Who's calling out? Can't see anyone. It was nice of her to buy me a kettle, though, even though technically I didn't need it. It is nice to have all the mod cons at your fingertips. I'm ploughing through the sun-dried tomatoes. Are quite chewy. Didn't realise they were going to be this chewy. Just taking note of what's going on here. Kind of been in Taipei Street. Oh, Val. Long video watching me chew. Sorry, people. I have to eat though, I'm starving. And if I get too hungry, I go berserk. That's another reason why I'm single. Afterwards, we had a look at the shops. Crystal bought. See, I keep changing the story. I should just read it how it is. My mind's just wanting to go the extra mile. I've got to pull it back in. After we had a look at the shops, Crystal bought us all dinner at a local Chinese restaurant called Billy's, which we had never been to before, but the food was delicious and the service fast and pleasant. Then we drove Crystal home and Jared returned back to my place so we could watch TV and relax. Bobo spent some time slathering Jared with Bobo kisses, which was kind of gross but cute at the same time. Bobo loved the new ball that Crystal bought him as well. So after my very strangely emotional day, Things turned out lovely after all, as they often do when you're emotional, because you're intuiting stuff, right? Hopefully, the depression was just the after effects of the anaesthetic leaving my body. I have my usual debrief with my psychiatrist on Wednesday. He will be able to allay any fears I have about my discombobulated mind. Discombobulated. I have a beautiful mind. I really do. I like my mind just fine. I even like it when it's discombobulated. Oh. And thanks to my stubborn and beautiful daughter, I can now make tea without the possibility of burning out my copper pots and wasting all that gas boiling water. I was waiting until I could afford a better quality electric kettle, because I don't like buying cheap equipment, cheap shit that breaks straight away. It grinds my gears. I'd rather go without than buy shit. But anyway, my best friend Lynn and my daughter don't have my philosophy, so, they insist that I get a kettle, and it's all good, it's all sorted yet again. But Crystal insisted that a cheap one will do in the meantime, so yay, tea for a very fractious old mama tea. So I currently have a cheap one again, because my more expensive one that I eventually upgraded since I wrote that blew out. And my friend Lynn said, "Don't worry, I've got a kettle for you." She has a stockpile of things for, she's ready for the apocalypse. It's quite amazing. I was like, "No, I'm not taking your resources. That's your stockpile for when the world really does go to shit. And they all try and invade your house and take your food, Lynn. I hope you're prepared with weapons." She's like, "No." She probably is, though. I said, "I'll come to your house when the shit hits the actual fan, Lynn." She says, "I'll feed you, Tanya." She loves feeding me. She really does love feeding me. And I'm like, "No, you need those resources for yourself. You have bravely stockpiled and prepared, like a champion. You get to enjoy your own resources when the shit hits the fan." So plus people will try to kill you for that food. So be very, very careful. Mama T has to do some prepping of her own when she gets better and has a bit of extra money, maybe. I'll have to buy things that I can cook over an open fire too, like a cast iron pan. I've already got a little miniature cast iron pan, but I have to think about that, because there'll be no electricity and there'll be no fresh water and we'll be fucked. Hopefully it won't come to that, people. Always look on the bright side, la 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 la. Oh well, anyway, there's a few things I might start just acquiring, just in the event that they might come useful if I go camping one day. I don't like camping. I'm not a camper. I'm not a happy camper anyway. But there are things that could be useful. Let's be pragmatic about it. 26th of March 2018. So sick of being constantly sick. I just want it all to be over. Have to drag my sorry ass to the chemist to buy more Ventolin, which I'm glad I bought some, filled that script, so when I do get sick, which is imminent, I won't have to run around and, in a hurry to try and get things organised. I've got some on hand now. I'm prepared. I'm prepared at least with that. That's the other thing that worries me. If the breakdown of society ever really happens, I won't be able to survive it because I won't be able to get my medication, like my Ventolin, which I do need very often. I've been good in recent months actually, but now there's a change of season. It's when my lungs pack up again. So yeah, what would happen? You wouldn't be able to get your medication. There'd be all these people that are addicted to drugs going fucking apeshit because they can't get their fix, and there'd be no supply lines to keep the necessary basic essential medications like Ventolin going. People will, I can't even say the word, people will be unalived by droves just by virtue of that, not having clean, fresh drinking water and necessary medications. It's a frightening thought, isn't it? We need to get off that groove. I'm not owning that timeline. That can just fuck the hell off right now. We can have a beautiful life surrounded by all our loving friends, family and tribe, and all our needs are met, and we have fresh air and fresh water, and we have abundance, and we have prosperity, we have truest, deepest loves, and we have a peaceful, loving society, and everything's wonderful in my little utopia. We can work towards it anyway. That's what I'll be putting energy into when my bladder's sorted, is prepping just in case and working towards a better society so that I never need the things I've prepped ever, because everything's wonderful and working well. I wrote here, I've tried to avoid it all day, going to chemist I mean, but my inhaler is empty, which is life-threatening. My friend Jenny wrote, I feel a bit at fault. She was a bit. I should have been more determined to get you to stay home Saturday night to have a relaxing spa, a few drinks and munchies and movies night and not go out raging. It was not a good idea. I replied, don't be ridiculous. I'm a grown woman and I make my own choices. I had a good weekend. Yes, it was overdrive, and yes, I pay the piper or the ferryman on the mythical river Styx. That mofo won't let me cross over. Grrr. All good. Bought more Ventolin, knitting on my couch, albeit tired as want to keep my hands busy as anxious. Watching TV, dog beside me, hopefully will be better in a few days. So from that, it looks like I went dancing 2 nights and caught a chill and got sick, and she was feeling guilty about that, but it's not her fault. If I go out like a lunatic in the night, in the cold night air, and catch chills and get sick, that's life, man. That happens to everyone eventually, especially me, because I fly in the face of my own mortality sometimes. Oh, I was flying on Saturday night. When I left my body, I was completely flying. Oh well, I had a lovely time. Right, finally managed to have a shower as I was so exhausted yesterday, even that was too much effort. Now cleansed and purified. Sometimes, when you're really that sick and you feel that fucking awful, you actually feel better after having a nice hot shower. Sometimes. Although I've had showers when my lungs were so bad that I almost fainted in the shower, which is not cool, man, when that happens, but, I've had hysterical conversions start in the shower too, which is life-threatening because you black out. So I had to kind of quickly get out and lie down on the floor. Fortunately, I don't have those anymore. I haven't for quite some years, but that used to be a bit scary, people. Only for me, like no one else was around to see it or affected by it. 2 more days of prednisone, weaning off, not sure if I am much better, but no worse. healing. I slept a lot yesterday. I might do the same today. Mentally clear, but my sinuses are a mess. Stage 3 of illness. I don't need antibiotics, as my chest is not phlegmy. Just rest and more rest. Me. Here comes the crash, my friend Nigel. I think the dollar collapse is about 3 years away. Me. Be sooner if major stores are collapsing. Who are we kidding? We've been in a depression for a while now. Our whole economy is fucked. That was back in 2018. Had my finger on the pulse the whole time, even before COVID came. I knew they were going to pull something out of their hat. I knew it from way as far back as 2014. I knew something was brewing. Didn't know what exactly it would be, but I knew they were up to something. 26th of March 2017. I had another beautiful night last night with my superb friends. I am just so replete with happiness I could just burst. Happiness is contagious. I watched it trickle through the crowd like a tinkling stream, gently enlivening everyone. Some of us, magicians of light and love, directed it like a flight of swallows in a cascading state of bliss. Then we staggered home, footsore and exhausted, but majestic in our service to the joy. Okay, brain not engaged yet, as just woke up after 4 hours sleep, but you get my vibe. I have no toes, no soles, or any feeling from the ankles down, but we had a blast, and that is worthy of the life of a former Shield Maiden's meteoric, matronic climb back into the seat of her own soul. They tried to kill us. We won. Let's dance. Blessed be the Holy One who shines light in dark places. From a tiny refraction we built a glow that can flow into eternity. Tiny sparks of the divine entering into a sublime awakening. So much love for the lost and forgotten. Blossoming and churning our way into healing through music, dance and enchantment. I love all my friends, new and old, who chose to embrace me on this journey from hell to paradise. A great gift I have been so blessed to receive. May the force always be with us. You have to laugh. Here's a photo of me having snuggles. How do I get rid of that glare? Snuggles with the bow. My main Bobo, my bow. My Beauregard, my boy, my puppy, my sweet darling. Here's some more. I know, I'm obsessional. But thank God I took all those lovely photos of him, or I wouldn't have any lovely well, I'd have memories tucked away in here, but I wouldn't have like a visual diary of my beautiful boy. Here's another one of my beautiful girls, my Penny. She used to like to sit above my head on the couch, and sometimes she'd pat me on the head with her paws. Oh, she was gorgeous. My gatekeeper, my angel, and that she really was too. Up and at 'em, I had a good rest. 26th of March 2016. Thank God for powdered milk. And Karina Bohm wrote, and coffee. And I wrote, tea lol. She replied, both smiley face. Still recovering from my recent illness. I slept from 10 p.m. last night till 2 p.m. today. 16 hours sleep. I had to take extra Seroquel last night as my mind was raving on about useless shit, but my body was exhausted. Anywho, I am well rested, sitting in my garden drinking tea and loving life while watching the chickens, cats and Beauregard. He slept that long too, so now he is a stir-crazy puppy. Off to the dog park we go, soon. He is so good now that even puppies have their limits. A walk in the forest behind me will do me good too. Just have a sip of my tea, people. It's already nearly cold, so I have to scull it because I hate cold tea. I like my tea how I like my men. Hot, smoking, hot. Well, maybe not too hot, not fresh off climbing off someone else, that's for sure. Yuck. But you get my vibe. Oh my God, something made me check my bank balance, my bank account. I got paid early yesterday. I'm wondering if that might happen this time too, because my payday falls on Easter Tuesday. So I wonder if they'll pay me early or if they'll pay me on Easter Tuesday. I guess it doesn't really matter. So good to be able to eat for the next few days, as I thought I was going to be broke until Tuesday. Fuck. Riding through life, pardon me, on the razor's edge is cuttingly scary at times. Thank you, Centrelink and Commonwealth Bank. Tuesday is not a public holiday, but boy am I grateful to have found I have been paid. So that tells me that's good information reading that, because it means they probably will pay me early again this Easter too. So, yay. But the only trouble with them paying me early is then I've got to be even more careful with my budget, because you forget that you got paid early and you know, buy things or buy extra food or whatever, and then at the end of that fortnight you run short because you were paid early, so you run short quicker. So it's not always a good thing, but at least like it gives you a chance when they pay you early to get food and stuff in before the actual public holidays. So it is kind of them to do that, but it's not always necessarily the best, most beneficial outcome if you live as close to the bone as I do and money's always tight, people, that you think, yay, I've got money, so you go out and buy takeaway and lollies and chocolate and overextend yourself like a fucking child. But I'm actually very good with money. You know, it's not fair what my mother used to say to me. I actually spoke to a financial counsellor 2 years ago when I wanted to buy a self-propelled lawnmower for my land here, and she had a look at my budget and she could see how I live very close to the bone, but she could see that I always manage each fortnight to get through. She said, you're actually very good with money, Tanya. Who told you that you were bad with money? I said, oh, my evil, fucking perverted, sadistic mother. She said, no. She said, you manage your money, the little bit you have, extremely well. She said, I'm extremely impressed. She said, if you had extra money coming in, on a regular basis, you'd be streets ahead of other people, because she said you don't have any debts. Well, at that time I didn't, but then Beauregard died last year and I incurred a fair bit of fucking debt over that. And people did help me out and give me a bit of money to offset that, but I still have a debt. But at that point in time, when I was speaking to her, I had no debts. It's like I had no money, but I had no debts. She said, I'm really impressed. So I keep putting myself down. I have this feeling of inadequacy about money. It's kind of a trauma block, you know, from being robbed of everything, even as a teenager and after my marriage broke down. But it's not true that I'm bad with money. I'm fucking excellent with money. I just don't have enough of it coming in, you know. But one day, Mama T might be able to change that. She can get herself a little business going that's viable and that people support. Miracles could happen. I am already a living miracle anyway, just because I'm here talking to you on YouTube, alive, relatively sane and healthy, relatively. Onwards and upwards, babies. Beauregard likes to snooze on the lounge while I watch Netflix. He hides his head under the couch to drown out the sound and vision and light. That was back in 2016 when he was only, still a young puppy. He was only about March 2016. He was born in October. He was 6 months old. So he must have, when you can't stand noise and that, he must have already been a sensitive little flower like his mother even then as a puppy. And I didn't realise, my baby boy. Anyway. Muggy night tonight, phew, sitting here in the silent haze of my own glow. Time for a shower and dress for my night out. Sounds like a plan. 26th of March 2014. Celestial fire all around me, radiant passion inside me, life force through me, true love magnetically drawn to me, compassion inspires me, negativity repelled by me. So mote it be. Salah. Thank you, God, for sustaining me and bringing me to this season. Amen. I know what that was about. It's been fucked over by Dave, even in that early part of that romance. So I was connecting to my spirit and my inner magic. So you see, he really was a soulmate on that level. Because he was such a fucking arsehole to me, he made me have to choose me and reconnect and open up all my magic and meridians and fire and self-determination and get myself together. Well, it worked until 22nd of August 2015 when I tried to die. But it worked for a while. It did work. Just there was too much cumulative trauma that year. It got too much for me. Hungry mama, gonna go chase food, and it better stand still long enough for me to eat it. Row. Told you I don't like being hungry. Damn, I have a dry, sore throat. I hope I don't get sick before the weekend. It will take me 8 weeks to recover if I do, for fuck's sake. Just woke up at 2:30 p.m. I had a good sleep. Now 2 more sleeps till my evening with mayhem with Gail. Till my evening with mayhem with Gail and the Sons of Anarchy, Juice, Bobby and Tig. Gail will get to meet them in person. Just wow. 26th of March 2011, Garden Bliss. I am so happy and excited about the lovely coffee tree, lemon myrtle tree. That must have died because I don't have that anymore. Chasteberry tree to come soon. The Zanzibar officinalis ginger plants, edible, medicinal gingers. Yeah, they died and didn't come back. The mother of all herbs ground cover. That died too. The orris root lilies, still got them. The feverfew, the stevia, died. Instant sweetness without sugar. The pineapple, the spearmint, and the 100 pavers that Annette gave me yesterday. Thank you so much to Annette and to Lynn and Peter who organised this abundant gift with Annette and who brought me the coffee tree and the pavers and remaining plants today. Woohoo! See how kind people are to me? You know, even though I live on the edge of reason and fracas and financial distress at all times, people will just randomly bless me with, you know, free things or plants or clothes. I mean, I'm wearing this top, right? It's a nice top, but it's 2 sizes too big for me. I'll try and show you. It's very nice. I put a t-shirt under it because it's voile and it's see-through. But it's actually too big for me, but I don't care. I'm wearing it around the house, you know. And sometimes I'll wear it out because I don't really care if it's too big. But I get people giving me often clothing, shoes, help me out with a bit of money occasionally. This is how I love people for 29 years. This is why I have fantasies of being self-determined and having my own business and not having to live at the, you know, by the compassion of strangers or, you know, by charity. So it gets a bit grinding on the nerves. I am grateful, don't get me wrong, but it just gets a bit grinding on the nerves that I can't manage things for myself sometimes. It's just my pride kicks in. I'll be like, the fuck, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not ungrateful though. I've got a whole frickin' spare room full of clothes that I'm going to have to probably return to Lynn or return into the second-hand shops because I'm not going to wear them. It's too many clothes and, you know, it's just, I have an abundance of clothes and I'm like not wearing them, so they need to go back into the network cycle and so someone else might actually wear them, not be wasted lying around here, right? But I have abundance in my life, if not actual fiscal, financial wealth. I do tend to have abundance. I live in a beautiful house on beautiful sacred land, and I'm happy and I'm grateful. Living with what is while trying to manifest opulent ideas of houses with swimming pools and all sorts of fantasies in my head. So I would like to get back what was stolen from me when I was a young woman at 29 years of age, going on 30, but I haven't been able to manifest that, and now I'm old, it doesn't really matter. I can live out my days in this house. They'll leave me here till I eventually die, and that's okay, you know. I don't need to latch on to people and be mercenary and, you know, just, I don't need to become that level of monstrosity. I can just live peacefully in my little home here with my garden, with Charlie, you know. Maybe one day, if I have enough money for the fucking vet bills because they're mercenary bastards, I might get another little dog or cat one day. It's not likely though, because I fear the vets more than anything else, just like I fear doctors now. Sad but true. But anyway, Charlie and I are okay here. All my needs are met. I don't need to sweat the small stuff or the big stuff. I just need to heal my body and rebuild my life and be delightfully surprised by whatever blessings come my way, right? As I've always done. Sometimes it's good to be a little bit too bloody spiritual, and others it's kind of a form of self-sabotage because you're not inclined to get out and be ruthless and grind everyone else down to get what you want out of life, be a mercenary fucker. Well, being a mercenary fucker didn't actually help my mother in the long run, by the way. She married a con man as she was slowly dementing into advanced Alzheimer's. So I'm fairly sure he probably raped her quite often when she was too doolally to know what was going on, which is a sickening, horrific thought, but it's what happens. And he took all her money and he gambled most of it, and he took my rightful inheritance out from under me and gifted it to his kids by getting my mother to sign and write the most putrid fucking will. So, but you know what? Karma's a bitch. For all her greed and machinations and evil and rot and all the shit she put me and my sister through, and my children through as well. She died drooling in her own shit, and at the end of the day, money meant nothing. Didn't even get to enjoy it. So, money to me, bottom line, doesn't mean a whole lot. As long as I've got enough to eat and I've got clothes on my back and shoes on my feet, petrol in the car, my rent's paid, and I don't have any massive debt stressing me out, I'm content with my lifestyle. As long as I have enough money to go dancing once a week and have a few drinks and, do my shamanic, wild, spiritual, crazy dance, I'm contented with that. I don't need more than that, really. It's all good. Every now and then I say, I want to be wealthy and I wish I had more and I wish I had this and I wish I had that. And it's all horseshit, people. The more you have, the more you want. The more you get locked into rat wheels where you have to keep producing so you can keep up with that lifestyle. The more you have, the more you want, the more trapped you become. So I don't have to please anyone other than myself, and I don't have to provide for anyone other than myself. Well, I couldn't anyway. If I had to, I physically couldn't have done it. And so I'm just living on a very even fucking keel right now, sailing into my distant horizon, waiting and hoping for my prince to sail towards me also, and living with serious foreboding that there be dragons at the edge of the world. But anyway, life is beautiful and I've fought long and hard for it, so I value it more and more each day, actually, given what I've been through in recent years. I finished planting everything, which means I now ache all over, but I am so pleased with how lovely everything looks. Tomorrow, if I'm not too exhausted, I will lay out the pavers in my little seating area that I've wanted to finish off for a few months, but couldn't afford more pavers. Once again, Hashem, that means God, and some lovely kind people have blessed me with abundance of what I need and or want, as often happens, because although I'm a broken, gravel-rashed, woman, I'm a good manifester most of the time, manifesting enough to get myself through at least. Sometimes only just barely enough. But I have a feeling, I hope I'm right, that this year, this birth year, my 59, well, it's really my 60th year because I'll be 59 next month, so skating into my 60s. I have a feeling that things are just going to keep improving for me exponentially, and life's going to be amazing. And if it doesn't come true, I'll survive as I've always done. But I just have this weird sensation based on patterns in recent months that it's all going to happen for me at long last. And as always, I'll greatly receive the abundance and the true love and the better health and the joy as it flows to me with harm to none and competition from none. I will greatly receive it all and I'll delight in it. I am truly amazed, and it also gave me an assortment of knitting needles as I plan to have a go at knitting tea cozies when the weather cools down some more. So a big thank you. And thus concludes today's readings of Even Date. And 2 parts to today's video, and I've waffled on everywhere. I don't know why you put up with me, YouTube world, but some of you must like me because I now have 65 subscribers, which is astonishing, as for quite some years I only had about, 12 or 20. All of a sudden in recent months it's just grown exponentially. So I don't know what it is that you're seeing in me that you've decided to support my channel and subscribe to me. Maybe you like my quirky worldview and my ideas and my dark sense of humour and my fierce fight for self-determination for myself, but that I want to inspire in you also, others like me that are trauma survivors that have struggled. I want you to know that with great determination and love in your heart and faith in your gods of your understanding and in your own spirit, you and me can do anything, babies. So never let go of hope and never let go of what you know is yours by divine right. And there's times when I do give up and flounder and sink into despair, and you've probably seen that in my videos as well. Sometimes in the course of the same freaking video, I'll hit the ground and hit the ground running and throw myself into the abyss and climb right back out of it and spiral up again. And that's just who I am. I do that. I can do that a lot in the course of a day. But it's only really that changeable and, constantly jogging as fast as I can on one spot when I'm really unwell and sleep deprived. Usually I keep my moods are fairly well stabilised, but sleep deprivation or illness can make me be, like you've witnessed today, all over the shop. But it's all good. I'm not unhappy about anything. In fact, I'm delighted with the love that's been shown to me in recent months, and I'll let you know tomorrow after I come back from my urodynamics test. If I don't feel too knocked down and unwell, I'll let you know how that went, not in minute detail because no one wants to hear about people's minute medical issues, but I'll let you know what they decide with that if they tell me what the results are straight away. And I'll continue on tomorrow no matter what with my journal entries of even date, because even I had a few insights out of today's readings waiting for me. The confluence of the timelines, the repeat pattern and the same groove, it's fascinating. History repeating, but also me having to pick up the needle and put it onto a new groove so I can have the life I always dreamed about, prayed for, manifested, hoped for, cried for. Oh dear Goddess. Anyway, life is beautiful, people. Keep it precious. Big agape love to you all. Have a beautiful day in the space-time continuum, wherever you are on planet Earth, and big agape love out to the interdimensional ones too, especially those of higher vibration who have our backs, because we need our angels more than ever. We need to acknowledge all that is, was, and ever shall be, that we are all in relationship with each other, interconnected and at times interdependent, whether we like it or not. I mean, I have dreams of being completely financially independent and not needing anyone, you know, having my own dream finally happening. But it's not all that realistic, people. Human beings are, we need each other. We need to be loved, and we need to give love, and we need to be supported, and we need to also support others, and it all goes round in a big spiral of eternity, and sooner or later, even poor schmucks like me get the love they most desire and need, and sometimes it comes in unusual forms, like through my pets or through random kindnesses from strangers. Sometimes it comes from truly, deeply honouring other humans. So I'm grateful to you all. And on that note, bye for now from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm.